Welcome students. Today we are going to start with the second model, and today we are going to learn the theories of retailing. So let's begin with this. So the first theory is the theory of wheel of retailing. So it was given by Malcolm P. McNair. So one of the well accepted theories regarding institutional change in retailing. This theory talks about how the process happens and how cycle continues. The theory states that in a retail institution, changes take place in a cyclical manner. So the cycle is the new retailer often enter the market with low status or low profit margin and low price store formats. So we all know when a big any startup retail store is coming up, so often they enter with, they will not be having any status, that will be very low, and the profit margin will be also low because it's an initial stage, and lower price store formats to attract the customers. So later they move up to market locations and stock premium products to differentiate themselves from the imitators. So they will become a specialized one, and they find a place in market locations, and they start holding premium products. Okay, and how they can differentiate themselves with the other competitors and other imitators. So eventually at the end, they matures as high cost, high price retailer, vulnerable to new retailers who come up with some other novel retailing format or concept. So this same retailer will in turn go through the same cycle of retail development. So let's begin with different phases happens in the particular retailing cycle, that is called the cycle of retailing. First is the entry phase, then trading up phase, then vulnerability phase. So entry phase, if you see, so they are innovative retailer. They and come up with new things. So they obviously have low status and price minimum services. And obviously, because of it's a startup, poor facilities will be there and limited product offering will be there because investment is also low. Then they become into the traditional retailers. So elaborate facilities, okay, higher rent, more locations, higher prices, extended product offerings. So they develop here. And in the trading up phase, when it comes to vulnerability phase, so mature retailer, okay, they top heavy, conservative and declining return on investment. So let's see one by one. So in entry phase, what happens is, so innovative retailer enters the market with low status, low price, low store format. So we have discussed regarding this. So they offer goods at low prices to attract the customers, and they go for such type of goods which are high in demand. So what happens with this is they can attract the customers from the already established competitors. So they tries to keep the cost at minimum by offering only minimal service to customers because it's an initial stage. So maintaining a modest shopping atmosphere, not really highly decorative atmosphere or interior. So locating the store in a low rent area because the price offering is less, discount will be there. Okay, and it's a new business, they can afford the high rent also, and then also offer the limited product mix also. So success and market acceptance of the new retailer will force the established to imitate the changes in retailing made by the new entrant. So this would face the new entrant to differentiate its product through the process of trading up. Next phase come up with trading up phase. So in this, new retailer tries to make elaborate changes in external structure of the store through upgradation. Once it is done with the entry phase, then they look into the upgradation of the retail formats. So in this, the reposition itself by offering maximum customer service. Okay, they go with the different items available and product line available. Posh shopping atmosphere will be created and relocating to high cost area as per the convenience of the customers where the movement will be high. Okay. Thus, in this process, a new entrant will mature to higher status and higher price operation. So this will increase the cost of retailer. So the innovative institution will metamorphose into a traditional retail institution. So this will lead to vulnerability phase. So once it reaches to the vulnerability phase, so deal with high cost, because they have developed widely. The atmosphere is created, and their rent has to be paid very high. So they deal with high cost, conservatism, and fall on return on investment because of high cost. So the innovative store matures into an established firm and become vulnerable to new innovator who enters the market. So in this entry of a new innovator mark the end of the cycle and beginning of the new cycle into the industry for the new innovator. So if you took a look at the example, Kirana store were replaced by the chain stores like Apna Bazaar. We have seen this process, and Food World, that is new entrant, which in turn face severe competition from supermarkets and even hypermarkets like Big Bazaar and Giant. Okay, so these are the three phases which covers the theory of wheel of retelling. Now, next theory, if you see, that is cyclical theory again. So it's called accordion theory, and we can say general cycle theory. It was developed by a Hollander. Okay, so he suggests that retail institutions go from outlets with wide assortment to specialized narrow line store merchants, and then back again to the more general wide assortment institution. So first they will be uh, outlet with wide assortment, then they will focus on specialized narrow, then again they will come back to general wide assortment. So it explains the development of retail in less developed markets where the introduction may occur at a higher prices. So this theory says, so it's especially for the less developed markets. So Hollander used the analogy of an orchestra comprising exclusively of an accordion player to describe the dynamically shifting retail structure. So the so-called accordion effect describes how general stores move to specialized ones. So why this happens? But then widen their range of merchandise again as a new class of product were added to their retail stores. Hollander suggested that the players either have an open accordions representing general retailer with broad product range or closed accordions indicating a narrow range of product with specific merchandise. So he says first comes with the wide range of products that is called closed accordions, then with the narrow range of specific products with the specific merchandise. So again, he point in time, any point of time, one type of retailer would outnumber the other, but the situation would continually change through arrival of departure of different stores. So this always happens in the market, and how he act that totally depends on the arrival and departure of the different store which are coming up in the market. So this analogy illustrates the complexity of the retail scene and the way different attitudes of successful retailing will come in and go out of fashion at different times. So if you see here, so we have seen the always trend changes, the type of products changes. So retail outlets come, retail outlets go, and totally depends on the different fashion which are coming up. According to that, the retail will get success. So there was a greater variety of customer goods available that could not be accommodated in one old general store. So because new things always require a new space and new type of retail formats. There was a growth of cities, which meant that consumer markets allowed profitable segmentation. Obviously, where there is a growth of city, always meant that it is going to be the profit making, and it can be a segment. It provided a social satisfaction to the shopping trip, which was required as society become more complex oriented. So social satisfaction, we all know. So we call it as a shopping trip where family comes. So which was required as society become more complex. So it is changing day by day. So this was the Accordion theory. Now let's move to the melting pot theory, that is also called dialectic process. So in first one theory, we saw that phases of wheel entry phase come up, then he will go to the training of phase, then comes the vulnerability phase. In cyclical theory, that is accordion theory, he says first come with the wide range, then specific store, that is narrow specialized one. Then again they will go for the wide assortment. Now in dialectic process, so melting pot theory, it is where two institutional firms with different advantages modify their formats till they develop a format that combines the advantage of both formats. So two institutional firms, we know different department stores, specialized stores, so different formats are there. Okay, and they have their own advantage and they modify their format and they develop their own format so that they combine advantages of both the format. It might be a supermarket or hypermarket. Okay, department store. So retailers mutually adapt in the phase of competition from opposites. So when challenged by a competitor with a differential advantage, so an established institution will adopt strategies and tactic in the direction of that advantage, thereby negating some of the innovators' attraction. So competitors are always huge. Earlier there were no competitors, and retail in India, if you see retailers, especially available in the metro city or high population city, but now retails are coming up with everywhere. It's becoming more famous nowadays. Okay, so when it comes to the competition with the competitor, so they have their own advantages. So institute, well-established institute have to adapt these strategies because tactics and strategy they have to adopt to compete with the competitors who are coming with newly with the new advantages. So that's why the negating some of the innovator attraction to the consumer. So innovator in the meantime also upgrade itself, moves toward the negating institution. So that is the one who comes the first, that is early stage. So through this mutual adoption, the two retailer gradually move together in terms of offerings, facilities, supplementary services, and prices, and become indistinguishable and one synthesis. So we have seen such a mutual adoption which has happened. Earlier they were not offering such services, but now you can find they are coming up with new services. Earlier only grocery was available. Now they are coming with grocery also. They are coming with apparels. Same. They are coming with the what do you call vegetables, fruits. Okay, they are coming with all such of things. The new institution then becomes vulnerable to negation by a new competitor. So that we have already seen how this happened. So competitive advantage for established firm, economies of scale, new firm, new technology. So both ultimately develop a format that combines the advantage of both the format that we have discussed in the early explanation of the theory. So on and so forth. If you see here, the dialectic process, the one is department store, another one is a discount store. So department store is high margin, low turnover, high price, full service, downtown location they will be, and plush facilities. But when it comes to discount store, low margin, high turnover, low price, self-service, low rent location, and Spartan facilities. So both together they will adjust with discount department store. That will be the new format. Average margin will be there because it's combined of the both the thing. Average turnover, modest price, suburban location, okay, and model facilities. So this will become a dialectic process. Now moving to the polarization theory, that is the fourth one. So this theory suggests that in a longer term, the industry consists of mostly large and small size retailer. So the medium size becomes unviable. This is called polarization. Okay, so large stores offer one-stop shopping. Okay, everything is available at one place. The smaller ones tend to offer limited range of products, but add value to their offers with other services when it comes to the smaller one. And it is found that firms tend to be more profitable when they are either small in size or big, not a medium one. The medium one fall into the Bermuda Triangle and they will disappear from the market. So that's what polarization theory explains. So I hope you understand all the theory. So here is the second unit completed.